Ladies and gentlemen, we interrupt your regularly scheduled programming to bring you this special bulletin. Madam Web is coming to theaters this year, and outlook is not so good. This article from Screen Rant: Sony's new Spider-Man Universe movie box office set to break a 22-year Marvel record. Now, the first thing you think of, it's going to break a record. It's going to be good. No projections. Domestic projections put it at $25 to $35 million opening. I think that's wishful thinking. Other news, Box Office Pro projects Madam Web to end its domestic run at barely breaking 101. $56 to $101 million. The entire run. Now, why on earth would this be happening? Wow. That's going to be rough for Sony and the Spider-Verse, but could be just par for the course when it comes to the Sony Spider-Verse movies, when it comes like Venom and Mobius, that travesty that was. But why on earth is this happening? Well, one rumor suggests, over here from Bounding into Comments, Madam Web originally established Andrew Garfield as Sony Universe's current Spider-Man, underwent massive reshoots, which ballooned the budget, obviously, after a switch to Tom Holland, screwing up the film's timeline. In the latest apparent example of just how detrimental Hollywood's constant desire for marketing synergy can be to their products, a new rumor suggests that Sony's upcoming Madam Web had to undergo massive reshoots in order to fix a number of plot holes and continuity errors that arose. What are these continuity errors? Apparently, Madam Web takes place in the 90s, and they were interested in getting Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man involved in that story. Well, the only problem is Andrew Garfield's character of Peter Parker wasn't born yet. Massive problems, massive reshoots in order to take those references out, take them out. Instead of Andrew Garfield, I don't even think Andrew Garfield would have been around for that time period as well. Addressing the discrepancies between the Dakota Johnson-led film's position as a canon prequel to Sony's ongoing Marvel's Spider-Man without Spider-Man film universe. Yeah. See, this is the problem. Spider-Man without Spider-Man. Venom could have made a lot more money had Spider-Man been in the movie. Morbius could have made more money had Spider-Man been part of the universe. Craven is going to suffer the same fate. Madam Web is going to suffer the same fate because these are movies set in the Spider-Man universe. Spider-Man villains. But Spider-Man's not going to be in the movie. You're not going to pull Spider-Man fans into these movies as much as you seem to think you will. Currently only confirmed as also contain both Venom outings, Morbius, Craven the Hunter, Severance Star. Let's see. There's other problems going on with this. To this end, Snyder explained, let's see. Explains that thanks to the film being set just a few decades in the past, that's a long time, Spider-Man, Peter Parker. Anyway, the film's production team, quote, thought for some reason that Andrew Garfield was going to be Spider-Man in that world. Not that he was going to be in the movie, he clarified, but maybe this is for sequels or whatever, but for whatever reason, Andrew Garfield was supposed to be Spider-Man in that world. However, with the existence of Garfield as Sony's current incarnation of the web slinger, aligned with the film's 90s setting, everything went to crap when, quote, afterwards it was decided it was going to be Tom Holland's Spider-Man, as this change meant that the timeline didn't line up anymore. So, did the reshoots take Tom Holland out, or did the reshoots insert a time jump? As such, Snyder then revealed, I heard that the reshoots for Madam Web, the latest reshoots, this is a very scary statement right here, the latest reshoots, which means there were multiple, that can balloon your budget to a point out of control where you're not going to make any money at the theater, which probably is contributing to this, $56 to $100 million domestic run, the entire run. My goodness. The latest reshoots, which I thought they were up to something else. But I'm told the reshoots were actually to remove all the 90s references from the movie because someone fucked up doing the math as far as, like, Tom Holland's age would actually be this or whatever it was. Maybe they should have got X-Ray Girl to do all the math on that one. I would just say that when Madam Web comes out, don't expect any 90s references. Not really interested in 90s references. But I wonder what else could be the downfall of this movie, of the box office? Well, apparently, the director came out and stuck her foot firmly in her mouth, chewed on it, spit it out, made a soup out of it, and ate it some more. Madam Web director puts final nail in film's box office coffin. This movie is not going to make any money. Calling it the worst Spider-Man outing, she came out, confirms that Madam Web takes place in a standalone world. This movie is going to have absolutely nothing to any movie that came before it, that's coming after it. Is it even going to have anything to do with Kraven the Hunter or Morbius or Venom? In confirming that the film will have little to offer audiences outside of those with specific affinities to the web slingers, female allies, or a morbid curiosity, yeah, no one's going to be interested in this movie. How many people actually know who Madam Web was or is in the comic books? She appeared in some of the animated shows, but Spider-Man without a Spider-Man cinematic universe. Fans of Spider-Man, at least the general normie fan, I don't see them knowing who Madam Web is. I have a vague understanding. I didn't watch any of the comic book. Is it my understanding that when she starts to, when she finally does interact with Spider-Man, when they're introduced, she has some sort of, I guess, precognition, able to see what's going to happen and tries to point Spider-Man in the right directions. Correct me if I'm wrong, please, in the comment section below. Clarkson confirmed this production fumble. Wait, let's go back up. I missed something. Revealed that rather than taking place in Sony's Spider-Man without a Spider-Man cinematic universe, the Dakota Johnson-led spin-off instead exists in its standalone world. How on earth? Why would you come out and say that? Now, there's nothing in general wrong with having a standalone superhero film where it has nothing to do with any of the movies that came before it, the ones that are coming after it, or the established cinematic universe of Spider-Man, whether or Marvel or DC or whatever. There's nothing wrong with that. But in order for it to be a success as a standalone world, you need to have a character that's relatively known at all. A well-known popular character would be ideal. Like the Joker with Joaquin Phoenix. That was a character everyone was familiar with. The Joker was ultimately, in the beginning, a standalone world. Standalone movie, had nothing to do with the Batman, nothing to do with any of the DC universe. It was just a little standalone, and it made over $1 billion. Because it was a popular character, and word of mouth carried it on for weeks and weeks. Madam Web, who really knows who she is outside of hardcore comic book fans or those that grew up on the cartoon? Be careful with that little trailer right there. Thank you. Not to sound too wanky about it, but it's about what's going on in Cassie's head and her grappling with that, detailed Clarkson, throwing in a spot of her native British slang. Is she going insane? Is this real? She's battling. Okay, we're talking about the psychological, cerebral nature of the movie and Madam Web's powers. Here we go. This is my familiarity with Madam Web. This is the picture this is what I always picture when I think about Madam Web. Amazing Spider-Man number 210, 50 cents. Good Lord. Anyway, in light of this supposed desire to keep the film from getting too, quote, hot, quote, in the sky with its plot, the Marvel's Jessica Jones and Marvel's Defenders director then revealed that Cassandra's story takes place completely separate from either the MCU, Sony's aforementioned Spider-Man without a Spider-Man universe, or any other established continuity. I understand she wanted to come out ahead with this information to make sure that the audience knows what they're getting into, what they're not going to get. But this definitely in a standalone world. I was able to just have free reign and let the movie be what it needed to be. This is absolutely going to kill the film. This massive reshoots is all leading to the dismal box office of Madam Web this summer, or whenever it's coming out. Now let me know when it's coming out. I forgot to look it up. What do you think? Are you excited for Madam Web? You looking forward to this? Can't wait to see another Spider-Man without Spider-Man movie, along with this and the Kraven the Hunter. I don't know what I'm going to watch. I'll check it out for the channel. To my lovely viewers, But let me know what you think in the comments. Leave a like, leave a dislike. Do all those nifty little things that YouTubers beg you to do, and I hope to see you on the next one. Bye.